Good morning, Dave Snyder here. It is the 8th day of November 2014, 7:44 a.m. Up early today. Not too early. I've been up since early. Anyways, apparently we got this. I was watching the Weather Channel this morning, the videos, the weather forecast, and we were supposed to have some superstorm up here in, I guess, Alaska, Canada. They were showing it coming up. Anyways, it's supposed to come. It's supposed to be up here by Alaska, and then I don't really see it. I mean, I see this here. I see this here, but I don't. I mean, maybe it is real bad. But they said it's in the Bering Sea. That's up here. I guess it's going to be this, huh? Must be this. The Eye of Horus. There it is. Anyways, I know I haven't had very many exciting things to show it, but they've been out there. I mean, I've tried to make videos about and show you guys what I've been seeing. I mean, every day I see things in the weather that point to things, but really it's like I'm the only one that can see them because I know what the other pieces look like that go with them, you know what I mean? And other people have been having a hard time understanding what I'm trying to show when I show these little things with the weather patterns being shaped like a V and all this thing, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, if you pay attention to the weather every day like I do, not too much, but I'm not obsessed with it, but I check it out pretty much every day. And you got this pattern here, which is really, really interesting. I mean, it's showed itself there before. It's the Eye of Horus. And this is a really interesting pattern. And they're all really interesting at this time of year. Very interesting at this time of year. And I want to show you this. I don't want to make videos where I keep repeating myself and just talking about the same thing, right? About, trying to talk people into checking this out, really, is all I'm trying to do. Because it'll answer so many questions. You'll be shocked at how many things you run across that are related to this. But anyways, down here, I've showed many times. Let's go to Google Earth, actually. Down here, near New Zealand. Hold on a second. Let me turn everything off. Or not everything, but a couple things. Alright. So, how'd that get on there? Alright, so down here, I always talk about how everything happens over here in the Pacific where the subduction areas are. This is an impact. This is an impact. All this stuff here, but this one right here is what I want to talk about right here. I've shown before and talked about before this circular pattern right here. See how it cuts? See how this is curved right here in Australia, and it curves around, and it's just like a big round circle, like an impact. Looks like an impact. Well, I was checking out the weather last night, or the night before last, I guess, and I came up with this pattern that was, oh, where is it? Right here. Perfect. Finally got one that goes, the pattern that fits here properly. Okay, so you see this area right here in North America. This is North America, California. You can see it right there. This is Australia right here. I moved this over here because I've seen this circular pattern, and I recognized it right off the bat, right away. It's absolutely the same thing. You can see the same thing there, and then if you know the rest of this area, you can look in here and you can see this little lump. But I'm going to confirm it in a minute. But you can pretty much see that that's the same thing. Let me back it off just a little, and you can just take a good look at that right here. And I've had North America down here so many times, putting itself in that place, all on its own by lining up the weather. Okay, so there is your print right here. Whether it's from the moon or not, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. I'm just trying to show you. This is what's here. This is how something went down like this. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, and I don't, I do know what it was, but I'm not going to say, exactly what it was. I'm just going to say all of this stuff on the earth alone, without anything else, goes together just like this. This weather shows that it was together like this at one point in time. North America and Australia were like this, just like that, right? Something like that. Anyways, okay, so I started bringing up more things. Hold on a second, I'm getting a little uncomfortable here. Okay, so I gotta get my glasses on too so I can see. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's that. Okay, then I brought up, what did I bring up? Oh, the South America one. The South America one right here, perfect. South America. I got that pretty well aligned to, which one did I align it to? I didn't really align it to this one, but I can see, you can see how okay, let me put it this way. Here we go. This area right here on the Earth, right in between Canada and the United States, right off the coast there. I don't know how many videos I've made showing the Schrodinger crater right there in that spot, along with the lunar South Pole pattern right here, right where that curves in, right. And I've also showed it in South America, right here before. Perfect, right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've showed it many times. The Schrodinger crater right here. Okay, so that would be there. So those two places just fell together like that. I didn't put them together because that I seen both of those there. They just fell in place that way by lining up the weather. I wasn't even looking at the land. Not really. So that puts those two areas together. What happened to it? Oh, there it is. So it puts those two areas together properly, basically. Okay, and you can see how South America fits in with that weather right there. Watch. I mean, if you look closely, you can see there is a resemblance of that weather fitting there. You can see like the V right here. See the V? Okay, now I'm going to bring up this other picture of the V weather that I showed already before. Where is that one at? I think it's up here. Right there, I think. I think it's that one. Okay. Now this, you can see in the weather here, those two V's are almost in place. I'm trying to remember how this all went down. It kind of just goes, you know what I mean? But you see the line right here? See this kind of line in the weather? There's something else to this I'm missing here. Let me see. Oh yeah, I know what it is. Okay, so I always talk about how Schrodinger hits right here in North America as well, over the Rockies. Shows itself. Okay, now you're starting to see right here, Schrodinger print in North America right there. Okay, and right here, it's showing itself as well. Now I'm just going to bring up the lunar South Pole right here. Let's just bring that up and just see how it goes right here. Okay, so when I did that, basically all I did was line this up with this pattern. See the circular pattern again. We're looking right here in the center, and look how this lines up. And then look at the lunar South Pole. I mean, look, you got to look at these areas. You see this area kind of turn to the right and swoosh out that way. This is a reverse image of the moon over the Earth, and you see the same things in this picture. I mean, I didn't line these up like this. All I did was put Schrodinger right in the center of this circle, and then I seen this over here. I said, well, that's got to be from the same fucking thing. You see that? I mean, it's got to be the same thing, because like I said, I don't know how many times I put Schrodinger here and showed it in videos off the west coast of North America, and then you can see it right here, the way that it curves around like this. You see this weather pattern? It looks like that. I mean, it just goes there. You know it does. And the craters that you see, these craters are in the weather. See that? Look at that. See the round circle? Boom. That's that crater. It's not perfectly in line at the moment, but that is that crater in the weather. I swear to God it is. And it'll show, it may not always show that one, but it'll show this, another one, or if it doesn't show this one, it'll show another one or something all the time. These are here. Watch this one. Whoa, right there. It's there. It is there. You may think I'm just trying to put it there, but I'm not trying to put it there. It puts itself there. It absolutely puts itself there. Look at that. Okay? So something happened at one point in time where all of these continents that I'm putting with this were together, and this hit the Earth, or it shaped it from space. It did something. It absolutely did something. And let's see. Then I brought up this. I said, well, you know what? This kind of looks like this area, right? Here kind of looks like, you know, like India. And watch, I'll just show you here. Gotta put it right here. No, this not that one. Not that one. Must be this one. Okay, and then here you go. Look what happened when I did this. Oh man, if that doesn't put things together, I just don't know what does. Let's take a look at this area here. Okay, this bright spot's right in this, falls right in the center of this hole here, and then but look at this part right here. I'm not lining that stuff up when I'm doing the overlay. All I'm doing is putting Schrodinger right in the center of that circle. That's all I'm doing, because I know it all goes. I'm thinking it all goes together, and every time I put it there, it seems to go together. I mean, it just does. So I mean, it must have been together. They were from the same place at one point in time. There was something hit like, and it wasn't. It was a Mars-sized planet, but it wasn't. It didn't create the moon. It was the goddamn moon. Watch some Sailor Moon or something if you don't believe me. I mean, it just, you know, it seems childish to say that, but if you don't believe that the moon's at the Earth, all you got to do is watch that, and you'll believe it eventually, because it tells you enough times. They're not holding back in Japan. I'm telling you, they don't hold back. If you don't catch it, then tough. You're just not catching it. But if you should catch it by the time, like I didn't catch it for 45 years. I didn't catch it. And finally, I was like, wait a minute. Watching how the Earth was made, I was like, what? Wait a minute. Deepest place on Earth, and then you show a picture of the moon. What's going on here? You put it all together. I've been putting it together ever since, and it just always goes together. I mean, you'll be wrong some of the times, but it always puts itself together if you just keep putting things together and looking at things. I mean, that is the same thing. Look at the curve. That fell in place. Did not put it there like that. I did not even look at it until after it was there. And then you see how this goes up and curves to the right. It kind of goes up and curves to the right. You can see that same right there. Look at that. It's there. And then this part right here is there. It's just absolutely there. See, isn't there some like volcanoes right in here, like Mount St. Helens and all that right there, right? I mean, there was a spot there. This stuff is all volcanic under the ocean. I know damn well this shit is all volcanic. There's volcanoes under the ocean right here, big time. There has to be. I'm not joking. There has to be huge volcanoes under the ocean in that spot right there. And that's why that's what the tsunami was from. A big earthquake under there. Well, it's probably a volcano erupting under the ocean somewhere out in, where they don't see it. But there's volcanoes under there. No kidding. Look at the weather at that spot sometime. I mean, on Wonder Maps, don't even bother with Google Earth, but seriously, look at the weather there sometime. Right here. I mean, we've seen I've been pointing out the weather at this spot for a long time, but the other day there was weather here that they were hiding for over a week. It was at least a week. I know it was 7 days that they had the weather off. So when they finally turned it back on, I did save a picture of what it looked like by the time I caught the weather. When I noticed it was back on was like the day they turned it on. I don't know if it was a couple hours after or whatever. But right in the spot, it turned out there was weather there that they had to be hiding. All we could see is the remnants of it, but I didn't even. I put it up here. I didn't even mark it. I'll try and find it. Should be. That's it right there. That was the weather after they turned it back on, and it's pretty well aligned to the Earth where I have it right here. Let me just turn all this other stuff off, and you can see that I got it pretty well aligned. I mean, you can see New Guinea right here. You can see that it's just a little off, but it's in the right spot. But you can see that was what they were hiding, and it must have been showing what are we looking at right now? This big print here, right? The same print there. It's about the same size, and it's about the same size as this right here, right? So it all goes together somehow, and I haven't figured it all out yet, but it does go together. So what I'm trying to show you is not a waste of time. It's just that I'm trying to show you this because they don't talk about this. The weather, they don't talk about on documentaries that every weather pattern on the Earth is a pattern or print left by the moon. Whether it hit the Earth and left it, or whether it did it from space, it doesn't make any difference. You never heard that before. And it is absolutely a fact, because I check it every day. I mean, I could put the moon craters right to these weather patterns, and bam, they fit after I flip them over. So I'm telling you, all the weather on the planet Earth, every bit of it, it's from something to do with the moon every day. All these prints, this weather would not be here if the moon did not leave some kind of magnetic print here or impact print right here on the Earth. That weather wouldn't even be there. It would be totally different shape of something else if it wasn't for the moon. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the moon's shaping it at this very moment right now in this spot. I'm saying at one point in time it did shape this area right here in this spot by physically hitting the Earth or magnetically pulling the Earth up from a distance. Something. But that's what the weather people know. The meteorologists got to know. They have to know that. There's no way that you could be a meteorologist at all and have any skills whatsoever unless you knew this. You would have to know this. I don't know how it's such a secret. How could it be so quiet? I think it's just because people know better than to talk about it and get it out there in a huge discussion where it's just going to end badly, I guess. You know, it's not something that you want to talk about and be cheerful, I guess. So nobody just talks about it. Instead, they talk about it like religion and stuff like that and God and all this and that. You know, it's all the same thing. It's all, to me, it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. Religion, you know, the Earth, the moon, it's all related. It's all the same thing. It's basically all one religion, and none of it is the way that anybody else believes it. My way is not like anybody else's. It can't be. I mean, I use a little bit of everything, but I'm telling you, people all over the planet know about it. They know. They have to know. There's no way they can't know. Like I said, a meteorologist, if they don't know this, they can't. There's no way they could be a meteorologist and be any good at what they do. I just don't see how that could be possible. Because when you see this, you can predict I could predict every year when this is going to come back. Every year they shut that strip of weather down on that satellite. Every year I know the time of year that it's going to be showing something pretty much, and you could predict the weather that way. You can forecast weather that way, I guess, if you really wanted to. I mean, I don't want to. I'm just saying. I recognize a pattern. And it's a pattern that's been going on for a couple years, in my life anyway. And it shows this print all over the Earth with trails some days. Like the other day, the trails were intense. All over the planet Earth, there was trails in the weather. From one spot to the next. The jet stream, whatever, call it what you want, but it's still a trail made by the moon. That whole trail that goes, 1,000 miles wide or whatever, and it stretches all across around the planet, was created by the moon somehow. Figure it out. We have to figure it out, I guess. I mean, I got it figured out enough to where I'm pretty much satisfied, but I still try to figure it more out, because I got nothing better to do when I'm sitting here. So I have a lot of stuff better to do, but I just don't seem to do it. But anyways, that's my video. I know it kind of sucks, but I'm telling you, people, you can laugh if you want. There's a lot of people out there that still watch my channels and make stupid comments. Not many anymore, but you need to really check it out before you say anything. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't say anything until I checked it out. Anyways, have a great day. Till next time. I'm serious. Just look at the weather. That round circle you're looking at on the screen right now will be all over the planet. Usually every day you'll find an instance of that crater that size somewhere. And we can see where it goes in a couple places. We know it goes there. We know it goes here. Right? We know it goes up here. Right there. And I can show you a couple more places where it goes. It goes right up here. Right here. For sure. And it goes up here somewhere too. Right up here somewhere. It goes up in, up here somewhere. You just have it shows itself in different locations, but it'll be in that or in this area is showing itself like in different places in this area. But it's from this area somewhere, and it'll show. And Africa should be showing the circular pattern about this time of year, and we've seen that the other day. I think I showed. Maybe I didn't make a video about it. Let me just go back to the internet. What the hell happened here? I'm just going to exit. Anyways, in Africa, you'll start to see the other day you can see it. There was a big circular pattern right here starting to shape. That was Schrodinger, and you'll see it right here some days, like at this time of year too, right in here. Yeah, this little hump that sticks out, that's Schrodinger right there too. These are print there, and we've seen it here. Look at it right there. There it's hit right there. Or not hit, but I mean we've seen the pattern here. It's that pattern or that season for that pattern is over already. We're not going to see it like that in this spot in the Gulf of Mexico like we've seen it for the past few months or a couple months ago or whatever. We won't see it till next year. And this one here is just really cool. That big circular pattern here, except that it keeps us from getting rain in California, I think. Look at all them patterns, man. People just have no idea. No idea how much bullshit they're being fed by the government. Fucking scientists. You scientists are just amaze me with your bullshit. I mean, if you're not telling a bullshit story about the moon, if everything you're saying is true, then whoever's doing this is full of shit. Somebody is full of shit, and it's not me. So that's all I got to say for today. Have a great weekend, and worship the moon. Whatever, do something. I mean, it's there. Look at it or something. Get familiar with it because you'll be seeing more of it.